Guys, in this video, I'm just going to quickly show you how to factory reset your HTC ONE M9 and also how to bypass the factory reset protection that Google and Android has installed on this phone. So yeah, I'm going to move quite quickly because I actually don't have a lot of space on the phone that I'm recording this video on. So without further ado, first of all, this phone is switched off. So as you can see, switched off. So in order for me to factory reset, all I have to do is press the power button and then press the volume down button together. So first of all, press the power button and then press the volume down button together like this. And then when you see the HTC logo come out on the back with a background that is black, that's how you know that you've actually entered into the factory reset mode. And as you can see, it's right here, so it's this easy. And then from there, you use the volume button to go all the way down. And here I'm using the volume down button to go down to the reboot to bootloader. And then from there, you press the power button to select. And then come on, it's gonna come up again, and here you have reboot to bootloader. If you select reboot, it's gonna reboot it as a normal, so it's gonna turn it on as normal. If you reboot to bootloader, it's gonna take you to the previous screen that you came from. So you have two options here, essentially, the two green ones, either boot to download mode or boot to recovery mode. I'm gonna choose boot to recovery mode because that's what we need. When you select that, it brings you back to the screen. Don't worry, don't panic. And then after that, it's probably going to bring you to a screen which has a battery that has some sort of red symbol on it. I think it's, yeah, there you are. When this comes up again, don't panic, just press the power button, and in this case press the volume up button. So you press the power button and then volume up button, and then it brings you to this screen. This screen looks very similar to the previous ones that you've gone through, but it's quite different. So at this point, what you need to do is you need to go down to the 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth option. So it says wipe data and factory reset. When you get to that point, essentially use the power button, and then it asks you, do you want to factory reset, yes or no? You select yes, power button, and it does this. And as you can see, whilst it's doing this, that white screen is basically showing you that it's wiping the data. And once it finishes wiping the data, then it's going to essentially ask you if you want to boot it as normal, and then you select yes. Come on. Format again. Reboot data wipe complete. So once this happens, then you say, it gives you the option reboot system now. You press the power button, yes, and it reboots the system for you normally. I'm going to pause the video here, and then once it's fully booted, then I'll come back and actually kind of go through the next few steps. That's essentially the steps that you guys probably want to know, which is how to bypass the factory reset protection option. I hope the audio is okay as well. But I'm just going to show you that it's going to try to optimize all the apps, and there's about 15 of them. But yeah, I'm just going to pause it here, and then I'll get back to you once it's fully loaded. You can see this is the screen I was talking about. Basically, it's going to optimize the apps that are already on the phone. Here it says 2 of 15. So it's going to take a few minutes for it to go through this screen. Don't worry about it, just leave it aside. Make sure that you've got it connected to a charger, just so that it doesn't lose juice halfway through. So yeah, I'm just going to again pause the video here, and once it's fully loaded, I'll come back and continue the video. Phone just finished the optimization process, so now it's kind of booting up. Here it is as normal. Again, here's the welcome screen that we all love and despise at the same time. At this point, you just press start again, run through it, and then for me, scroll down again, next, and then here's the Wi-Fi options. I'm gonna have to take this out of screen, put the password in, and get right back at you. Okay, connect. Alrighty, next, connecting to Wi-Fi, yada yada yada. It's loading, and usually this is the screen where it tells you that you cannot log on because of the fact that it already has the Google. See, here it's saying sign in to get most out of your device. So this is where it's saying add an account. Usually it would tell you to that you can't move past this point because the Google protections thingamajig is already there. So I'm going to skip all of this, and hopefully I can get to the point where it will be able to help you, because at this point you can't actually go to the settings. So okay, here, once you get to this point, so let's imagine you get to this point, and after this point it's asking you about your Google account. So at this point it's going to ask you to name your Google phone, right? So you highlight the Google phone, the name, and then you press share, and then it brings you to this. There's an Android beam right here. You click that, and then back. Oh no, made a mistake there. You share, then you press and hold Android beam. So press and hold, and then you press back up here, and voila, you're at the settings page, right? So there's other ways of doing it where you have to use talkback mode and so on and so forth, but this is the way I found to be the quickest. Just highlight it, press share, press and hold the Android beam mode, and then you're good to go once you get to this stage. And at this point you just have to scroll down. I hope you guys can see this. And now where do I go next? If I'm not mistaken, it's backup and reset here. And so once you get to backup and reset, that's where you said reset all data on the phone at the bottom here. I've already done it for my phone, so I don't feel the need to do it again. But once you press this button, essentially what it does is that it removes all the data on the phone. So rather than just protecting that data, it's going to remove it. And so what you've essentially done is that you've allowed yourself to be able to now bypass it as if it's a brand new phone. With that being said, I'm just going to, again, I didn't want to do it, but I'm just going to do it right now. And then you see it's going to reset, and it's going to erase the system and app data settings, the download apps, and the music and photo apps as well. So you press OK again, and all of that is gone, and it's going to reboot. And it's going to restart the phone. Now, with that being said, I just wanted to give you guys some quick advice in terms of buying stuff online. I was buying it as a second-hand phone, and you know, make sure you read the return policy to understand what that says about your phone. Make sure that you're not buying something where you cannot return it, or make sure that you're buying something where you understand the preset within it. There are certain companies where if you buy something, is a no return policy, is a no money back policy, and these can be really harmful to people like myself who are buying secondhand phones, and they don't have the money or the the resources of throwing money and hundreds of pounds away. So make sure you guys do that. Make sure. I can't emphasize that enough. Even if you don't read the whole contract, make sure you read the the return policy. And what else? Keep all your receipts. See, for me, this was a phone that I bought, and within the 14-day cooling period I returned it, and I had the receipt to show that I'd returned it right here, and the tracking and everything. So make sure you keep these things. And finally, I'm going to call them back right now, because I bought this a couple of days, like last week. So I'm going to call them back just to make sure that the cooling period is not going to be affected by the fact that they sent me back the phone, and that if the cooling period is affected, it's affected in a positive way rather than one where it's harmful towards me and I end up losing my money. This advice, again, is not going to be really useful for people who own a phone and they're never going to sell their phone, and they usually use it until it dies. But it definitely does help people who usually buy phones, and then in my situation, you buy a second-hand phone and then you want to send it back, and then you get the letter essentially telling you what does it say? We apologize for having to return your phone back to us. Unfortunately, the Google account is still active, and we need it removing before we can process your refund. Unfortunately, of course, for a company like this who sells second-hand phones, you would think that they know how to do things like this in terms of removing the factory reset protection situation.